everybody, it's Roxy here from All Ours Forever. So, take my glasses off here so you don't get too much glare. I'm here today as promised. We're going to do a quick, easy, budget-friendly DIY for the 4th of July. Getting some echo in the background. Anyway, so I hope you'll join me. I know all these crafts aren't for everybody, but hopefully you'll see one or two that we do along the way that you'll enjoy. So let's get started. So for today's craft, you'll need a pair of scissors, needs a hot glue and some hot glue gun. You'll need from the Dollar Tree, this is actually a banner, patriotic banner. I'll show you what it looks like, and we're only going to use a section of it. So it comes like this. This nice little banner all strung out, and we're only going to use one part of it. And then you're going to need some of these little mini patriotic hats. They come 5 to a package, and they're at the Dollar Tree also. You're going to need, and I got this from the Dollar Tree too, some white, it says Just Chenille from the Dollar Tree. You need a knob of some kind. Just one. I use a little bit of E6000 on this. And from the Dollar Tree, one of these little silver trays. That's right, it's $1 at the Dollar Tree. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our banner and we're just going to take one of these flags. It's got several flags on it. We're just going to cut off one of the flags. How's everybody doing? Everybody in the hot states surviving all the heat? Boy, it's miserable here. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, and you want the flag part of it. I'm just going to kind of, I turned the tray upside down, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball. We just want enough to fit the very bottom of the tray, not the raised part, but just, or not the all around the perimeter, just this raised section. It's got a raised section on the bottom. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball that and cut enough to fit that. Oh, you know what I forgot? Professor, would you hand me the decoupage? Over on the shelf, big jar to your right-hand side by the paints. So one thing I did forget is you'll need some decoupage for this. And a brush, which I've got a brush. So we're good to go there. Yep, that big container. Perfect. Thought I was being so organized today too. No, I got a brush. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So a little bit of Mod Podge. We'll do this up just perfect. And this doesn't have to be exact. Like I said, just kind of eyeball it. And this just kind of worked out. It's got the stripes on it, so I can cut right along the stripes. So you end up with a piece just like this. So you're going to turn your tray over. And we're going to take a brush and your Mod Podge, doesn't matter what kind you use. And we're going to put a nice thick coat of Mod Podge on the base of our tray. just on the bottom side here. On the front of our tray. Just put it on nice and thick. Just like such. And you can coat up a little bit onto the insides too. That's not going to hurt anything. So, see how I covered that? I went a little bit up onto the inside sides, but not much. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our flag and we're going to kind of place it right in there. And I'll warn you, this material is just a little bizarre to work with. You don't want to fuss with it too much because it will start to fall apart. But you can move it a little bit after you get it on the decoupage. Move it around and get it centered where you want it. And if it goes up a little bit onto the sides, that's okay. So that's what it's going to end up looking like. Okay. Now we're just going to put a light coat of the decoupage over the top of it. And don't worry about it. The decoupage is not going to show. I wasn't quite sure with this material of this flag how this would be. And you certainly don't want to brush too heavy-handed because it is very thin. But it does work. Works out pretty well. So just put a nice thin coat of your decoupage on there. Like such. Right around the edges. Okay, so we've got it coated. All our edges are down and in place. Now, typically what I would do at this point is let this sit and dry, okay? And it'll dry clear. But because we're doing a live, I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works. So these hats, pretty cute. They're just little mini hats. And they come in all colors. There's a red one, a white one, and a blue one. Actually, there was 3 red ones. And then they have the little banner around this section of it. So what I did was I took one of the hats and I cut it in half. Just like such. Okay? Then what I did was I took this and I put, because when you cut them in half, the little banner section is loose. So what I did was I took, I don't know about you, but I always have these craft sticks handy. I took a little bit of the E6000 and I just lifted up the edge on my half of the hat. Made sure it was kind of spread out there a little bit with my craft stick and push that down, and that keeps it down in place. And I just did that on each end. Okay. You all getting ready for the 4th of July? Everybody ready? I don't know if you guys saw yesterday my venture with my daughter on Facebook. It was fun. I don't know that we got a lot accomplished, but we sure had a good time. Okay, so we put a little bit of E6000 on each end of the banner portion of the heart, just to hold that on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our Just Chenille and take the band off of it. And again, this was from the Dollar Tree. Most of this stuff was from the Dollar Tree. I didn't get my wooden bead from the Dollar Tree, but I do think they carry some of these. I just happen to have this on hand. but everything else literally was from the Dollar Tree except the E6000. So what I did was I kind of played around a little bit, figured out how long I want a beard, and I cut about a third of this off. So I just held on tight to it, and I took, set this aside, and I cut through it and just cut about a third of it off, just like that. Okay. And I set that aside for another day, because heavens knows, us crafters, we don't throw anything away, we keep them all. All right. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little bundle here, and I'm going to figure out where on my platter I want it. I want to put my person over here on the side. Have you guessed what we're going to do yet? Okay, so I have to admit, this is not my original creation. I saw this on Facebook. It was one of those things that just kind of went by real quickly. And I went back to try to find the person who posted it, and I couldn't find it again. So I apologize to that person. I fully intended to give you credit. I just couldn't find your post again. So I couldn't even find the directions again, but I remembered enough of it so that I could show you. So you've got 3/4 of your bundle. You've cut the 1/3 off. You're holding it on as you like this. On the Stars and Stripes side over here, just about, you come down about yay far from the top, and you're going to put a little bit of hot glue on the back of your little hairy guy here. Be careful, don't get your fingers. Okay, lube him up pretty good. Okay, see what we're doing there? We put some hot glue all over the back. And then we're going to take that and we're going to set it right on down here. Just push him down into place. So it's like this. See what we got? Anybody getting the idea yet? Hey John, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. So then we're going to take our hat. And what I did was I just put a little bit of E6000 again, because I don't want to use the glue gun on this. It is plastic and it'll fall apart right on the inside rim of this. All the way around. Pretty good little bunch of glue there. And then we're going to go from the top, and we're just going to bring it right on down. Press it onto your tray. You might have to push your chenille back in just a little bit. Now, I did take the glue gun, and I did run a rim of hot glue around the hat on the tray. Just a thin bead of it. So you can't hardly even see it. Of course, you can take your glue stick again if you need to and kind of just snug it right up there against that hat and on your tray. Okay. Now, we're just gonna kind of fluff our bottom here a little bit. Fluff it out. If you have any ends that are still looped, that aren't cut, you can just snip those. Just kind of go through and snip them a little bit. You just want it kind of fluffed up. And then we're going to take our bead And this one's got an opening this way. I'm going to put that down in, and so it'll be a soft, flat surface. And I'm going to use glue again, hot glue gun. Careful of the fingers, guys. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of part his hair a little bit. See how I kind of parted that a little bit? You can see that. And then I'm just going to snug this little thing right in there. Just hold it for a second till the hot glue dries. Okay. Now, there you go. There's our Uncle Sam Gnome. Now, you can leave it like this, or at the Dollar Tree, they also had these cute little foam stars. And they come in 2 different sizes, a large and a small, and you get a whole package of them. There's got to be 25 of them in the package, and they're red, white, and blue. I'm going to take and just put a little bit of hot glue on this and stick it on the corner. And then I'm going to take a red one, stick it on this corner, and a white one. Stick it on this corner. So there we go, folks. There's our Uncle Sam Gnome. Just a cute little quick decor. You know, it's easy, it's budget friendly. I've got $1, $2, $3, $4 from the Dollar Tree, $5 from the Dollar Tree. I take that back, $5 because I already had the Mod Podge and the E6000. So really very budget friendly. Cute little decor. You could set up on your table. You could set it out on your front porch, just about anywhere. But it's just, turns out darling. It really is cute. It was quick. It was easy. Can't ask for more than that. So thanks for joining me. Stay tuned tomorrow for another DIY. Can't even talk anymore. I haven't had enough coffee today. Some more DIYs for the 4th of July. We're taking out this whole week into the 4th of July celebration. Check us out at allarsforever.com. There's all sorts of new things. Please subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And of course, we're at Instagram Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, 6:30 a.m. Oh, I hear phones going off. And with our poolside chat, that's on Instagram. And of course, we're on Pinterest, YouTube, and Facebook. So spread the word. We'd love to see you again. Thanks for joining me. Bye.